And welcome back to Troy David Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Troy David Phillips, manager at Flashback Comics here in Woodbridge, Virginia. And tonight I'm going to host a background discussion on Marvel's twins, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. First introduced in the Uncanny X-Men issue number 4, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch were part of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You will notice, if you are fans of the cinematic franchise, that there will be a version of Quicksilver that was in the X-Men Days of Future Past, and there will be Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, a different version in the Avengers Age of Ultron. The differences between the two, well, I really can't talk about that yet because the second film hasn't come out yet. But for the history of the two characters together, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch left Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants after confronting the X-Men a couple of occasions. They were later seen in the pages of the Avengers. They left Europe, came to America, left their past behind as mutant terrorists, and joined the Avengers along with Hawkeye, led by Captain America. This became affectionately known as Cap's Kooky Quartet. After Avengers number 16, the four characters went on together and faced a variety of villains, some classic Marvel villains, Kang the Conqueror, Doctor Doom, and others, until eventually Giant Man and the Wasp rejoined the team, bringing the team from 4 to 6. Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch were mainstays on the team for quite some time. Off and on, once or twice their powers faded. They recovered the use of their powers. They rejoined the team. Scarlet Witch eventually came under the tutelage of Agatha Harkness, the nanny of the Fantastic Four that used to oversee Franklin Richards. Agatha Harkness was also a true witch, and she taught Wanda how to manipulate true magic as well as her hex power. I suppose I should back up and explain that Quicksilver's superhuman power, of course, is his speed, while the Scarlet Witch manipulates probabilities. That is to say, she can cause improbable things, but not impossible, to occur not quite at command. She can make things happen, but she does not always specifically call forth a particular event. In any event, the Scarlet Witch was introduced to another Avengers mainstay, and this character was the Vision. Created by Ultron to attack the Avengers, the Vision eventually became a member of the team for quite some time. Scarlet Witch and Vision fell in love and were married, and in the fullness of time, had twins, and I will come more to that in a moment. Along the way, Quicksilver left the team and was injured in Australia while battling Sentinels, was rescued by Crystal of the Inhumans. Now, in a previous spotlight, I talked about the royal family of the Inhumans. Following the events of Avengers 104, Quicksilver came under the care of Crystal, and Quicksilver and Crystal eventually fell in love and were married. This took place over the course of Avengers 127 and Fantastic Four 150. Ultron had transplanted his head onto a gigantic body, the body of Omega, and attacked the assemblage of Inhumans, Fantastic Four, and Avengers, attempting to disrupt the wedding. In any event, Crystal and Quicksilver were married, and in time would have a daughter, Luna. While Crystal was an Inhuman with the power to control the elements, and Quicksilver was a mutant with superhuman speed, Luna was born as a normal human with no powers whatsoever. Nevertheless, she was welcomed into the royal family of the Inhumans and lived with them at Attilan, the Great Refuge. When the Great Refuge was moved from the Himalayas to the moon, she continued to live with them there. The Great Refuge of the Inhumans was placed in the blue area of the moon. This will be significant in a later discussion to the Kree. Again, so much of the Marvel Universe comes together on itself. In any event, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, now each one of them with a spouse, and completely unaware of the true nature of their origins. We had seen previously that Bob Frank, the Wizard, an actual Golden Age character from the Timely era, was believed to have been their paternal father, but in fact he was not. In Avengers 185, 86, and 87, it was revealed by the midwife that bore them that a woman named Magda had actually come to Wundagore Mountain, borne the children, and then run away, fearing the wrath of her very powerful husband, who we did not know by name at that time. Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch were attempted to be given to Bob and Bob Frank and his wife, but Madeline, his wife, passed away during childbirth to the child Nuclo, and Bob Frank fled in grief. The children were then later given to a gypsy family living just at the base of Wundagore Mountain, and they were raised by Django Maximoff, hence their last name of Maximoff. Over time, we would learn that, in fact, Magneto is the husband of Magda, and that Magneto was believed to be the father, the paternal father, of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. This belief persisted as the characters were brought together in the Vision and Scarlet Witch limited series from the early 1980s, and followed up on in the Vision and Scarlet Witch maxi series, which was 12 issues long. Some of these events were also recounted in Avengers Annual number 12, where we saw the aftermath of Quicksilver reacting to Magneto and his revelation that he was their father. In more recent months, some ambiguity has been cast on this. It might not be that Magneto is the paternal father of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. Who their parents might actually be has not yet been revealed. So continue to read. You'll probably want to follow the Uncanny Avengers series, and certainly you'll want to continue reading after the Secret Wars event to see how those events unfold. The Scarlet Witch is somewhat infamous for decimating the mutant population. Following the events of the Avengers Disassembled and the House of M, the events that come after that, M-Day, were the Scarlet Witch using her power on the grandest scale she had ever used it to wipe away 90% of the mutant population on Earth. This did not endear her to many characters found in the X-Men, and those events were only recently chipped away at. Wanda has since recovered her sanity. She has recovered some of her relationship with her brother Pietro, and has learned that Polaris, Lorna Dane, was said to be Magneto's daughter, revealed not to be, but again in more recent years, in fact has been revealed to truly be the daughter of Magneto. So the family lines are very, very blurry. There's an awful lot of back comic reading that you're going to have to do. I really tried to concentrate on the twins themselves just to prepare you for the upcoming Age of Ultron film. But as you could see, Quicksilver, the Scarlet Witch, the Vision, Crystal, the Inhumans, the Kree, Magneto, the X-Men, M-Day, and so on. There is so much that all comes together here. You've got a lot of back issue reading to do. So, from Flashback Comics, I will leave you with that. Crack into the backs of your boxes and have fun. I'll see you next time on Troy Spotlight. Flashback Comics and Games, check out the Troy David Spotlights that appear here. Also, check out the new comic release Wednesday, our top 5 picks. Me and my co-host Kevin Goswan from comicsonline.com give you our top 5 picks for each week. And also, check out the Flashback Comics and Games website. Be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter.